Everybody's been saying, Shimmy, watch Scissorseven, Shimmy, watch Scissorseven. So today we got Scissorseven. No long talks, lock the fuck in, and let's get into it. Boom, we start with our main character, Aura, farming at the top of a building. He pulls out a picture of his target, then rips it. Next thing we see is the man flying into a building. He breaks the wall with his sword, then he goes through everybody easy like he's Madara, and then he stabs the guy in the chair. But this kingpin looking guy is like, yo, Crow, you really the GOAT for real. You know what? You're actually my GOAT. Let me give you some bread, gang. And Seven's like,
glaze me. Look, you.
But the glaze wasn't enough. He just kills him easy. He says, my bad, gang. Somebody paid me more than you. And he just starts smiling. But then it pans to him and this blue chicken, and it was all just a dream. And they actually work at some noodle shop. But bro actually has power. He can control scissors and make a mean ramen. I respect it. At least he can impress sushi shit with that, right? And this chicken's talking about oxtail too. Like, hold on, let me find out this guy's from Yard. But Daibo, that's the chicken's name, he's had enough. He don't want to live this life no more. He said, bro, let's just become killers. Once you become one, you get bread, vacations, and hoes. What more can you want? And he tells Seven, once we make enough bread, we can recover your memory. Because basically the man doesn't know who he is right now. He doesn't know shit. He could be chopped chin for all we know. But we learned there's two types of killers in the world. There's people who work for the government and guys who work solo dolo, but they gotta keep their identity a secret. So Daibo takes him through a bunch of trials for him to become a killer, and he actually fails every single one. And with that, the man gives him a killer certificate? Like, what? This is definitely how some of y'all got your driver's license. Fake as hell. Now, his first mission is to go to a wedding and cut the soon-to-be wife's hair off. So now he's on the table as a pig, and he's having second thoughts about if he should really do this. But when he comes back to his senses, the man already started cutting the groom's hair off. Like, okay. Hold on, is that Luffy or is that Roger? Who the hell is that? So now they're getting chased out and Seven runs into this little Caillou looking kid. But it's a robot from Stan, and Stan is some next super research facility. And he says, hey twin, I heard y'all boys got the power to recover memories, right? Shit, I mean, we probably do. But it sees something on the ground and it's like, oh, is that yours? And he's like, oh yeah, that's mine. And it says, say no more, I'm gonna kill you. And it just shoots at him. Seven dodges and says, just chill out. But it wants him dead. So Seven locks in, controls his scissors from far away. But it doesn't come in time and he gets hit. But then the scissors actually come and it cuts the robot's arms off. But now, just from that one hit, the man is tired. And Caillou just walks up to him, gets ready to kill him. But then this masked girl comes up and cuts Caillou's head off. She turns to him and says, why you got a token from the Killer League, boy? But Caillou is crazy. It activates a self-destruct and it blows up. But at least Lil Chicken Bro is here to save him from that explosion. Now Daibo explains, the Killer League finds you. You can't go out and find them. So he decides he's gonna get to that top 100. And right now the man is ranked 17,369. I'm not gonna lie, gang might be shooting way too far. Maybe he should try for 5,000. Now we cut to this cat and she wants to pack up Mad Bark, who's the leader of all the dogs. So she goes and hires Seven and he's like, I bet, I'ma kill that dog. I'ma put that thing down. But she says, hold on twin, I just want you to poke his eyes out, that's it. So Seven goes and transforms into a dog, creeps in, and all we see is all my homeboys on the side, just dog. But bear shit is being thrown at him, so he has to lock in, turn into Gojo, 6 eyes, and dodge everything. Now he ends up right in front of Mad Bark. Hey, what's your name? I ain't never seen you here before. I'm Mad Dog. Every dog here has a surname Bark. And he says, oh, my name's Mad Bark. You're Mad Bark? Don't I look like a Mad Bark? Come on. But then the dog grabs him by the neck and says, I'm the only Mad Bark in these ends, bro. And this smart dog says, you know what? We'll find out if he's really a dog by making him eat shit. Like, nah, what the? So bro says, nah, you eat it first. And he just eats it. Nah,
I almost puked, but let me stay focused.
I don't know what dog is like that. But then Seven just pushes the shit onto his face and he transforms back into his original form. And he goes in for the double eye poke. But Mad Dog grabs his fingers and breaks it. So he tries again, but they just keep getting broke. And then he tries with his feet too, and they still get broken. But then he gets freaky and licks his eyes? Nah, bro. After that, Mad Dog gets pissed. He busts out his guitar and starts playing it. What is going on right now? and it starts killing his ear. Bro must be playing that Iggy Azalea. So then he just hits Seven in the air and he just starts comboing him. But something happens. Seven gets a flashback and his eyes turn red and he just grabs the guitar, uses his scissors, and just breaks it. But he turns back into his regular self after. Hold up. Is bro new Uchiha or something? What's going on here? And Mad Bark is about to go and finish him, but he sees the picture of him as a U and he figures out it's Meow who's trying to kill him. Then we get a backstory and we find out the reason he cut her off is because he found out that cats and dogs can't have kids. You know what? That's valid though. I get it. So Seven transforms into Mad Bark and he goes and sings for the cat. Nah, you can't really trust guys these days.
You gain from that.
But then the masked girl from earlier pulls up and tries to kill him. But Meow ain't no scrub. She grabs her arm and the sword. And we find out the masked girl's killer name is 13 and she's ranked 37? Damn. But Meow ain't trying to fight fair, she wants to jump her, so she calls all the cats and now they're ready to scrap. Boom, they go in, but she dodges them all and turns them all into blocks? Yeah, she got it for real. Meow says, damn, you know what? We gotta lock in. Mad Bark? And bro is already gone, he sprinted. Yeah, he's not shit, you always save the gal first. Now 13 is just chasing him and she pulls up right in front of him. Listen shorty, I'm not Mad Bark, see? You think you can fool me by being ugly? He gets hit, but he cuts her mask. And he's like, damn shorty, where you been at? But she says, I don't even care who you are now, you're dying. But bro is just trying to aura farm because he sees gal in front of him. I'm not even mad at the game though. So she's like, you know what, I gotta kill this guy quick. She stops both of them and goes in for the kill. But they end up kissing? She goes in for a strike, but someone just grabs her sword and breaks it. And it's, holy, what the hell is that muscular chicken? And he punches her away, but then there's more cats who pull up behind her. So she's like, alright, I'll take my leave this time. Now we meet another granny who's literally just a scammer. One of those OG scammers though. Seven's creeping on her as a box, and what do you think she does? Shorty literally starts folding him. Like she's stomping on him right now. Seven goes and gets ready to kill her, but this dog starts biting him. And bro was getting split in half and he just transformed. And this lady's crazy, she just starts stabbing him. He said, please, I'm broke, stop. And she keeps going, stabbing and stabbing. How is the man even alive anymore? Then we learn Seven gave her grandson a reverse mohawk, so the granny gets pissed. Takes off her clothes. Hold on, her little fine ass. But she starts beating that nigga up bad. Now Daibo comes and tries to shoot the kid, and the granny sees this, jumps in the way, but Seven comes and destroys the shot. The craziest part about all this was that it was her son who wanted her dead.
Kill my mom!
Now Seven's next target is assassinating this girl. He goes to kill her, but she uses her female aura on him. Yeah, y'all need to watch out for this move because these gal know what they're doing. But she says, I want to do a couple things before you kill me, alright? So let's make a deal. You help me do these, then I can die. So bro is just doing everything on the list. Running naked, stabbing a nurse, dining and dashing, kicking the girl's ex in the nuts, flying in the sky. But now it's finally time for her to die. And she takes her hair off and it's Professor X? Xavier? Nah, she actually has cancer. And she put the money on herself so she doesn't have to die in the hospital. After hearing that, Seven says, you know what, I'm not gonna kill you, I got a homie who could fix you up. Now Seven's getting ready for his next mission and he sees bad gyal in all shapes and sizes, even chicken shit. Then Seven goes up to Shorty and says, do you need help with your sun oil?
My goodness, Valentine! Whoa, no!
But he has to focus on his mission. Basically, he's gotta go in the submarine, kill this captain because bro hasn't paid this old man in like 10 years. Like homie, why would you work 10 years without any pay? So Seven takes the money, disguises himself as a fish, acts like he can't swim, and this dumbass brings him inside. But they literally just start beating him when he gets in there. And someone comes in and says, chill bro, we about to have some sushimi. But he dodges all the attacks. He grabs Seven and gets ready to kill him. But he transforms into his OG form and he starts flexing his move on bro. So he goes in, but Jack just blocks his scissors with his finger. Then he just hits the man away. Can a pirate be this strong? And it's because he's already mastered all 3 forms of hockey, okay? He's serious. Seven calls up Daibo and he says, hey twin, you gotta help me out here, I'm getting cooked. And Daibo says, sorry gang, you're on your own. Can't help you. Now Jack's like, wait, hold up. Why does this guy look so familiar? And we get a flashback. and someone goes and kills the guy who's about to give Jack bread. Bro says, I'm pissed. Goes in with divine departure, but he just dodges and gives him a rude slash across his chest. So he says, you know what? Let me test him to see if this is the same guy, and gives him a rude punch, and the man just gets flown away. So they make a deal. If he can move Jack's foot, he'll spare the island. So Seven locks in, goes in his face, and makes the man move. Now we see the little chicken chilling with fine shit, and Seven is a coconut just watching. Seven sees his target, and it's a mission from this gal who says, if you see my husband with the little hoe, kill him. Be honest, are you doing it? So he sneaks up on them as a crab, but this block ass just kicks him off. He turns into a duck, but bro puts his head through the ground and says, where do you think you're going? And he just starts twisting him. So Seven turns into his OG form and pulls up on him, and we find out he's ranked 1,337th in the bodyguard ranking. And Seven is now 12,324th. Bro's been moving up, I'm not even mad at that. Seven goes in, but a whale eats his scissors. And the man bust out a blick. He's not playing any games. So Seven hits him with the, if you're not a bitch, you'll fight me 1v1. No weapons. That's if you ain't a bitch though. And he says, I ain't no bitch. So he drops the gun. Seven goes into punch, but bro uses his indestructible body technique, and Seven breaks his arm with that punch. Then he gets a rude punch to the face. Now at this point, Seven is getting the brakes beat off him, but Steve is starting to get tired. Seven goes in to kill his target, but Steve hits him with the WWE deadlock. He's not moving. Seven tries everything to get him off, but bro won't let go. He even goes home and the man is still on his back. Then out of nowhere, this mad shorty pulls up to end Seven, but Steve gets in the way and takes the attack. And she says, y'all are some hoes, and leaves. But basically, bro's gonna be there for another 4 days because it's a 7-day deadlock. Now they're just having some real talk, and Steve says, broski, why did you choose to be a killer? Why? Because I want the bag, why else? But broski, you're still poor. But then Seven sees something coming, and it's a fucking missile. So bro goes and runs, but all the fine shits are about to get hit, so Steve lets go and takes the hit head on. Then out of nowhere, the sphere appears and some guy in a hood comes out. Bro looks like Kabuto. Now Steve, who got hit, he's falling all the way into the water, he's about to drown, but the muscle bird saves him, and he's aura farming while he saves him on some Michael Phelps shit. And Shorty is here watching too. Seven says, "Trying to destroy the island, boy." And he says, "Did you block my missile?" But he goes through his database and gets a 100% match on Seven, and he tries to end the story in episode 9. But Seven dodges and shoots his scissors at him, but he just busts out a laser sword and cuts his scissors. Now it's looking grim and he goes to end Seven, but luckily the little chicken saves him. But he starts to remember his past, and he remembers he was protecting a gal and she stabbed him in the back. Now we learn this guy's name is the Prince of Stan, and he's one of the big dogs. So now with Seven gone, the Prince of Stan is trying to dig up the core of the island and get this valuable mineral that's at the center of the island. So he gets his sphere and he starts digging. Bro pulls out a mic and says, "Hey, y'all live here? Y'all better leave. There's a mineral under this island and I'm taking that shit. If you don't leave now, you're just gonna die." Now we cut to Dabo and Seven, and he says, "Alright, the world consists of 3 forces. There's the Jackie Chan Jet Li Kung Fu Mandem, the Bill Nye the Science Guy Mandem, and then us regular broke no hoes ass people. But the Kung Fu guy and the Science guys have been at war for years, trying to see who's really the strongest." Now we cut back to the island and Kitty pulls up on Kabuto. She goes in to attack, but he literally cuts her claws off easy. Then he goes to kill her, but the goat Mad Bark pulls up. Listen, he may not love his gal, but he ain't gonna let some glasses kill her. So he starts playing guitar, but it's not doing shit to bro because he's got a helmet on. And he literally starts playing music back and it destroys his guitar. And then he starts whipping them too. What is wrong with this guy? But this captain says, there's one more type of in this world you need to watch out for. And it's the switch fu, and he pulls out the Glock and shoots it, but it just gets redirected and hits him back in the chest. Now he's about to kill everyone, but Professor X uses her Gyal aura and kisses him, and bro starts to tweak. You can tell he gets nothing in his life. He traps her in the sphere and just sends her away. Next, we have the granny pull up, and she drops down like she's Killua's pop, but the prince dodges. He shoots a beam at her, but she blocks it with her hands on some Killua shit and redirects it at his robot. The prince then shoots a missile at her and it's tracking her. She runs to take them both out with the missile, but he just puts up a shield and all we see is an explosion. Now back to Daibo, he's still talking with Seven and he says, listen gang, we not taking this mission. They're gonna die. You see how strong she is? Seven says he's not backing down from this, he can't go out like a bit. And Daibo remembers his chicken brother and says, I've been meaning to give you this, and he gives him his sword. Then he reveals he actually found Seven on the shore about to die. And when he found him, he took him to the doctor to get him fixed up. But the doctor charged him a crazy amount of money, and that's why he's trying to make him a killer to get the bread back. So everything he's known has been fake, even his name is fake too. But while he's talking, Seven is already gone. And the little chicken pulls up too. So Seven goes in quick and saves the granny. So now they go at it, dodging and cutting, and they're pretty even. The prince goes in for the kill, but Seven shorty comes in and saves him, and she says, he ain't yours to kill, ugly ass. See, that's real. That's how you know she really fucks with you.
She want me. She want me.
She goes in, but he dodges, but she still gets his shirt. This Seven guy's like, how you doing, shorty? I ain't seen you in a minute. Like, bro, lock in. We're in a life or death situation right now. Now, the little chicken pulls up to fight again, and he gives him a rude punch and it breaks his shield. Then the chicken turns into rotisserie chicken, spins in the air, and they all go to attack him from behind. But he says, it's time for my ultimate move, and he strips? But he goes full Iron Man mode and gets all his armor. And he hits all of them with some magma beams coming from the ground. The man says, I'm pissed I have to go this hard on you scrubs. Now Seven's just getting beat up at this point, combo after combo. 13 comes and saves him again, and she uses her defenses to block the attack. But he says, oh, you blocked that? Try blocking this. He shoots, but Seven said, nah, I can't let you go out like this, and he pushes her out of the way. And takes the hit. Nah, no way my goat died for a Gyal. I respect it though, but he actually transformed into a leaf. And he uses the 7-day deadlock move on the prince. 13 goes to do the finishing move, but bro freezes her. So Seven says, I got this. He uses his power to bring his scissors together and puts it right through him and the prince on some Goku and Raditz shit. Side note, if any of you remember how hard this mission was trying to line them up with a special beam cannon, you're a real one. But he falls to the ground. The little chicken's trying to revive him too, but the shit is not working. And the prince gets back up. There's no way he survived. He gets ready to end him, but then Daibo pulls up and says, hey, I'm the king of the chickens, boy. That's my dog, I ain't gonna let you kill him. So he starts shooting at him, but it was really a distraction to let Seven get away. And then we go to the past and we see Seven was the strongest killer in the shadows, and he had a shorty who he was trying to save, but she stabbed him in the back. And it was one of those evil light skins, bro. They all go to gang up on him, but he uses his sword and destroys the bridge and falls. Now out of nowhere, Seven gets up and he tanks this shot. Is that my dog? No way my ghost's awake.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
He grabs Shorty too and he says, listen, anyone who hurt Shorty is done. He picks up his sword and all the pieces come back. Then he speed blitzes right towards the prince. Bro puts a shield up, but the sword goes right through the shield and he cuts his arm. The prince calls his sphere and he transforms into some big Power Ranger sphere type of guy. And he's like, you know what? I'm destroying the whole land. I don't care anymore. But Seven's got that look in his eyes. Bro goes and cuts him down right in the middle and sends him flying like he's Team Rocket. After that, Seven is still in his Uchiha form and he falls to the ground. Now 13's on the phone with her master and he tells her, kill that. Now we go back to the city and everyone's getting all stitched up and Seven walks out like he's normal. Okay, that's all for this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know if you want me to keep doing this series. There's about 3 or 4 more seasons. I could keep pumping these out. Let me know what else you want to see. And yeah, appreciate all the love and support. The growth has been crazy. Hopefully we're at 50K by now. If we're not, we're definitely really close. Road to 100K, we're gonna get there this year, promise you, inshallah. Yeah, let me know what else you want to see. Make sure to hit me on all platforms, and I'll catch up, boys and girls, in the next video. Peace.